What's going on to you Scorpios out there? So you have the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and you Scorpios have the Six of Pentacles. Ooh wee. So yeah, a lot of you Scorpios definitely have the right idea in mind. You're not out here as a charity work. You're not just giving people stuff, right? Like, you're not just out here. You Scorpios are not out here dating just to date. You Scorpios know good and well that you want to actually be with somebody. The reason why I'm saying that is because the Four of Pentacles, being stomped down and very straightforward and very insistent or persistent, not insistent, persistent with what it is that you want. You Scorpios want to be in a relationship like I was talking about. But the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles represents the Ten of Pentacles. You Scorpios realize that you're going to have to slow up from having to spend money on dates. Like, if you can get away with free dates, cool. But you're not going to break your bank to try to get to know somebody, especially on the first or second date. You're not doing that. And truth be told, you Scorpios should never do that. Never break the bank, ever, when it comes to dating. Never. There's no exception. Never break the bank. If you only have $20 in your pocket, spend 19, but never spend down to your last dollar. You understand what I'm saying? Never spend your last dollar. And even if you don't want to spend the 20, be honest with the person. Look, we're going to have to figure it out. We're going to have to do something better than this. You know what I'm saying? They going to have to be okay with a cheap or a free date, because I don't know why is it that they're pressing you to spend money in the first place. There's a word for that. So the Six of Pentacles right here represents relationships should be reciprocal anyway. So the first and a couple of first dates should be the beginning of a relationship. So should be the beginning of a relationship. So this is a situation for you where you Scorpios have to understand that the best thing for you, I'm getting all kind of notifications. The best thing for you Scorpios to do, you're doing it right now. You're realizing that the best thing that you Scorpios can do right now is to understand that what it is that you got going on is better than what a lot of other people probably got going on. Don't spend your money just so that you can get to know somebody. It should be reciprocal anyway. So if they can't understand your situation, it's a dub. Those people are not the type of people that you would want to trust anyway, because they're just using you for free stuff, which is lame, because it's pitiful, it's pathetic, because people who are pathetic do that because they can't get it for themselves. So the Justice right here represents how this is something that you Scorpios should have been doing for the longest time, because, you know, you Scorpios are too good of people to allow yourselves just to be out here being mistreated and taken for granted, and, you know what I'm saying, and treated like a trash or whatnot. And this is something that you Scorpios should have been doing for the longest time. Just because money comes easier to you Scorpios than, I don't know, let's say a Pisces, you know, or maybe you know, I don't know, a Sagittarius or something like that. Just because it comes to you easier than those zodiac signs, right, something like that, doesn't mean that you should just be spending it and just be like, oh, okay, whatever, just for the F of it, right? You Scorpios obviously have to be wise about how you spend your money, of course, right? Especially your resources. Respect your stuff, respect your property. So the Page of Wands now is about how, so since that's the case, this you Scorpios have entered a brand new mental space. And because of the mental space, a brand new course of action, because this is becoming what's regular. And what I mean when I say it's becoming what's regular, I'm talking about this is what's becoming more understood, that people should not be, the default should not be people expecting other people to just take them out on dates and just help themselves to their money, help themselves to their pocket or purse, depending on who you are, right? It should be a two-way street immediately, which is true. It should be a two-way street immediately. So a lot of you Scorpios are realizing that you're the ones that bring way more benefit to the people that you're dating anyway. So there's no real point in having the ideology that you just bringing in all this value and value and value, and yet another person isn't really bringing you any kind of value whatsoever, or very little value, to the point where it's probably not even worth it at all either. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles, because for you Scorpios are in a position to take it or leave it. If they don't want to understand where it is that you're coming from, who cares, right? You can take it or leave it. You don't need them like they need you, right? They need you in order to survive. They're using your kindness to be able to afford them free dates, free meals, free adventures, free experiences. And you Scorpios are trying to get to know somebody. Understand what I'm saying? So the Seven of Cups represents, if there's anybody in your life like that right now, Scorpio, the Seven of Cups, you have other options. You shouldn't even be wasting too much time after this reading anymore on if this person is the right one for you. If they are trying to charge you up immediately because they want you to spend all this amount of money, let me explain something to you Scorpios too, right? Part of the reason why it is that a lot of these weirdo people want you to take them on dates to go to these steakhouses is, number one, they probably never had a steak dinner in their life. They can't afford it because steak is expensive. Beef is expensive. Everything is expensive. But the two most expensive things right now, luxuries as far as meat that a person can eat, is seafood, specifically shellfish, and beef. Lamb, goat, expensive. Trust me, because I eat those things. So I know what I'm talking about. It's expensive. So if a person is pressing you, Scorpios, and they're trying to get you bent out of shape, trying to twist your arm, you have to take them to a steakhouse and all of that, they can't afford that. They can't afford steak or beef. They can't afford that. And they're using you to be able to afford it for them. That's why specifically they go to these steakhouses. Not only that, but also they're trying to test out your pockets. They're counting your money. How lame is that? Now it's not their money that's in their pocket. It's your money sitting in your pocket. But they think to themselves, if you got enough money to buy this expensive this, then you go ahead and you may have enough money to afford my lifestyle because I want things. Then they just lie to you, and then they'll lie to you, Scorpios, and then they'll say things like, oh, well, I'm accustomed to it. So if they're accustomed to it, how come they never have the money to afford it on their own? Because what you're saying you're accustomed to, it means that this is your lifestyle. This is what it is that you can afford to pay on your own. This is the way that you were living prior to this person showing up, right? So if they are accustomed to this lifestyle, and this is what it is that they're accustomed to doing, why is it that they feeling so pressed? And why must you Scorpios always be the one to foot the bill then? Wasn't they already being able to pay for their own stuff prior to you? This is why it is that I say to you Scorpios, stop being so pressed about these dates. Stop, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention to what's really going on behind the curtains. Most of the times when people talk, especially when it comes to dating, they talking from a heroic perspective, from a perspective of they're doing way better than what it is that they're doing. What they're actually doing. They're lying to you, Scorpios. Most people Everybody is lying to a certain extent. Everybody is. Some people are trying to make it seem like they putting on clothes and they making themselves look like bums or like just above or barely making it nothing special. And a lot of the, not all the time, but a lot of the times those would be the people who will have the most money in the world. But because they don't want people to know that they have money, because jealousy and envy is a real thing. Look at how Young Dolph got taken off the board. Young Dolph got knocked off, not even because Young Dolph was doing something bad per se. It was just straight up and down jealousy and envy. His ops didn't like the fact that Young Dolph was becoming more of a celebrity based upon the good things. Because think about it, when Young Dolph was talking about all the goofy stuff, or I ain't gonna say goofy stuff, but the street stuff that he may have talked about prior to him giving up on it to become a musician and stuff like this, how come nobody really took out that much of a action on him? Only until he started doing things that benefited others and that gave him notoriety and celebrity for it is when he actually started to really get envied for doing wonderful things. So the Two of Cups here represents how if a relationship is what it is that you're looking for, I'm getting all kind of notifications. If connection is what it is that you're looking for, the Two of Swords and the Nine of Wands represents here, you Scorpios are on the right track. You're doing something that you should have been doing for the longest time, which is you Scorpios are actually getting rid of giving people free experiences and free meals, free, affording them a free lifestyles. They be half lying because they be saying that this is their lifestyle, but they're not telling the details of it. That's the manipulation. This is their lifestyle because you Scorpios afford them the lifestyle. They're not telling you this is their lifestyle before, and that this is what it is that they are accustomed to based upon you are making them accustomed to it because you're the one that's giving them the lifestyle. They're not saying that they are accustomed to this because this is something that they were affording on their own before they met you. This is why it is that I say that Virgo details is so important, because Virgo represents details. You need a bigger picture. The Two of Swords and the Nine of Wands represents. So don't even be ashamed. Just be disgusted when people try to guilt trip you or manipulate you into feeling like you gotta do this, you gotta do that, or whatnot. Forget about them. Compassion for these people or for the weak. Trample down on people who are that wretched, because they're dishonorable too. Let's clarify the justice. So if you Scorpios was dealing with anybody, leave those goofy people alone. The Temperance, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and then you have the Star card to clarify the justice. The Temperance and the Ten of Pentacles, you've become a lot wiser because people have been getting you by trying to get you to take them out on food dates. That's why the obesity is so high in the country, in the United States. All these food dates. Why don't y'all go work out on the first date? Why don't you? Let me not even go in, because I can go in. So a lot of you Scorpios saw it like, okay, this is something that you need to fix, because a lot of people out here wilding. The Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Swords for you is about how you Scorpios, you started to learn from your mistakes, and now what you're seeing is a lot of people need you to survive. The Star card, they'll even try to be in a relationship with you just so that they can keep themselves above the poverty line, because they're a parasite that's latching onto you Scorpios. Now is the time for you Scorpios to stand straight up and let all the leeches fall off for you. like the great people that you Scorpios are.